Chapter 6. The Farm Store.
Dresden wiped the last plate dry and put it in the cupboard. "Hey, little man. I'm gonna run to the farm store before church. Wanna come?" "Can we get ice cream?" Jackson asked as he ran to get his shoes. "Mommy coming too?" "No, you guys go. I'm gonna jump in the shower and get ready. I'll be all fancied up and waiting for you two monkeys when you get back," she said from the kitchen. Dresden locked eyes with her, walked back and pulled her close. He ran his nose from her shoulder to her ear, embracing the soft, warming scent of his wife's skin. He firmly grabbed her and ran his hand down her back toward her waist. With calm dominance, whispered into her ear, "Good girl." She stopped his hand and pushed away. While looking at the floor, she told him she loved him. He fought his frustrations and kissed her on the forehead. "Love you," he said, walking away. He knelt to tie the tiny Converse shoes that matched his. "Ready, Freddie?" "Who's Freddie?" Jackson asked, laughing. "Oops, that must be my other son," Dresden said with a chuckle. "Daddy." "Just a joke, little man. Let's roll. Don't forget to grab those deep-fried pickles," Elisha yelled with excitement. "Got it, honey." Dresden closed the door behind him, got Jackson buckled up in his booster seat, and drove down to their local market, or as Jackson called it, the farm store. The sun was warm on their faces, and the scent of hanging floral baskets and fresh fruit filled the air of the busy market parking lot. Jackson reached up and grabbed his daddy's hand. "One of these days will be the last time you reach for my hand. But until the end of time, any time you do, I promise to hold it tight and cherish every second." Dresden had lost his dad when he was just a child. He was aware of how precious every moment with his son was. A homeless man sat on the edge of the parking lot. Dirty, tattered clothes hung from his skinny frame. He held a sign that read, "Please help, no food, no home, no hope," with an upturned ball cap laying in the grass. "Daddy, we're good guys, right?" "Of course, little man, what's up?" "That man looks sad. I think he needs help." "No, he wants my money. There's a difference," Dresden said coldly. "What's different, Daddy? Good guys help people." "He made his choice. This is how he wants to live. Now come on." Jackson looked back at the man holding the sign. He raised his ashamed eyes to meet the child's. Jackson reached into his pocket and pulled out the only treasure he could find, and placed his blue die-cast Corvette on the ground, and stared at the broken man. Dresden led him through the open-air portion of the market. James Armstrong, an ex-employee of Dresden's, and Ethan Taylor, a nearby farmer who was delivering a load of corn, were standing off at the far end of the parking lot and waved Dresden over. Ethan was a big man with an even bigger heart, unbeknownst to everyone, aside from Alicia. He also happened to be Dresden's NA sponsor for the last 12 years. Jackson ran straight to him. "Uncle Ethan!" He pulled a single spearmint lifesaver from his pocket and hid it in his large, dusty hand. "Jackson, what's that behind your ear?" Ethan said through his smile. He reached behind Jackson's little ear and magically produced the individually wrapped candy. "Daddy, did you see that?" "I sure did, buddy, but what do you say?" "Thanks you, Uncle Ethan," Jackson said with the mint already in his mouth. "Anytime, big guy." Ethan was a fourth-generation farmer. His family owned and worked the land of a nearby farm since rainbows were black and white, as he would say. Ethan's father had died before he had turned 10, raised by his mother, a tough woman with a heart of gold. She took on all the duties of the farm as well as raising her only son. Unfortunately, 3 months before Ethan's 14th birthday, she had fallen from the hayloft in their barn and damaged her spine, confining her to a life in a wheelchair. At almost 14 years of age, the entire survival of the family farm rested on his young shoulders. To say Ethan grew up fast would have been a great understatement. The term farm boy strong was a saying made for guys like Ethan. "Hey, Dress, you think the country's screwed?" James asked bluntly. "Dang, good morning to you too, James." With a chuckle in Dresden's voice. "Screwed how?" As the words came out of his mouth, he knew he was going to regret it. "Like how the asshats that run the world are screwing us. They're in Davos right now, planning the destruction of the human race." "What are you talking about?" "The Great Reset." Dresden looked over to Ethan with a half-cocked smile. Ethan opened his eyes wide as if to say, "Here we go." The WEF have admitted to infiltrating our governments. They are proud to tell you they own our puppet prime minister. COVID was just an experiment, that vaccine that everyone was so willing to get, followed by booster after booster. You know more people died from the vaccine than the virus. Sorry, I asked. They normally meet in January. Why have they all been called to Davos in July? How does that not concern you? It's all out in the open. They said they want to solve hunger, bring world peace and an environmental utopia. That sounds pretty good to me. Dresden laughed. James, maybe give online videos a break. It's eating away at your reality. You sound ridiculous. James snapped back. They openly admit to a new world order. They want to destroy privacy, freedom, and make sure that no one owns anything. Our Prime Minister told us you will own nothing and be happy, you remember that? They want chaos to depopulate the planet to a manageable level of sick victims and slaves. James, you're all over the place. Dres, they have been there for a week already. They aren't even hiding it anymore. I'm more worried about a recession. You're a big shot. Is the railway as screwed up as everything else? Got some insider dirt? Ethan asked as he patted Dresden's back, moving him forward. Dresden was happy to get off the tinfoil hat path James was trying to lead them down. Big shot? Shit, my boss's boss ain't even a big shot. I gotta ask permission to piss while they hack away at my bonus. I swear the company hates me. But if you're asking if GTMs and velocity are declining along with a workforce that doesn't want to work anymore. He stared over to James. Then yeah, I think we're in trouble. Dresden kept a watchful eye on his son. I've had to cut back on 2 testing trucks this month alone, and I gotta reduce further next quarter. I tell you, I travel a lot of the country and morale everywhere is the lowest I've ever seen. Most mid-level managers are overworked and depressed. Now we're expected to increase productivity with declining assets. I wanted to work, but you fired me, remember? James said with a hint of disdain. James, zero tolerance is zero tolerance. You knew that and chose to put me in that spot. Don't think for a second I wouldn't want you on my team. You're the hardest working man I've ever met, aside from King Kong over here. He looked to Ethan. You get the help you need, and I promise to do what I can to get you back. Yeah. James looked to the ground and kicked the gravel. Shit, dude, I can smell it on you now. I respect who you are and will never blow smoke up your ass, but you gotta get cleaned up. If not for you, for your kid. With the mention of his son, James lit up like a firework display. I got him this weekend. I'm just about to grab him some cereal, then we're headed to play some mini-golf at the mall. What kind should I get him, little man? He asked Jackson. Pirate's treasure, Jackson said enthusiastically. James looked puzzled. Cap'n Crunch. Dresden clarified. That's awesome, brother. Enjoy, but please put the bottle down. If not for you, do it for him. Have you ever thought of AA? Ethan asked. Pff, I can stop anytime I want. I don't need a group of crybabies to tell me what to do. Plus, it would take my time away from Bo. Just trying to help. Yeah, Ethan and I were just talking about how things don't seem right, you know. We feel like we're the only ones seeing it. James, obviously uncomfortable, brought the subject back to the economy. Alicia and I see it. I'm hopeful for a rebound, but if shit gets too hairy, I got other skills to fall back on. Dresden said with a half-joking smile, Alicia doesn't like to hear it, but my family will be taken care of. Plus, recessions never seem to affect my previous job. Ethan chuckled. I don't doubt it, brother. You and Alicia are pretty much the perfect couple. Yin and yang. I thought so as well, but lately she's been really withdrawn. Not sure what I did, but there haven't been any fireworks for a while. I know she loves me, but a man needs more than just words and a peck on the cheek, you know? Dresden faked a smile and gave his friend a gentle push.